Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a series I like to call Noob to Pros. In this series in particular, I would like to give you some tips and tricks that I've learned while playing some of these games to help you get better at some of those video games that you're playing. And the video game that I'm currently playing a lot of is called Warframe. Warframe is a third person action game. It's made by Digital Extremes, the same studio that bought you games like Unreal Tournament. And it's a free-to-play game, so it will not cost you a penny. So I highly recommend that if you are in the market to pick up a game, especially in the PC, that you have a look at it. So in this video in particular, I would like to suggest what the best farming route is. And the reason why I would like to do this is because a lot of you maybe do not own all the Warframes, maybe want some of the other Warframes, but do not want to spend actual money getting some of these Warframes in the game. And so you would like to maybe get one or two Warframes that are really good, and just use them to kind of like farm for some of the other Warframes. Now, the Warframe that I would recommend for a lot of you is that you pick up Rhino, and in this video I'll showcase some of the abilities that Rhino has, minus his last ability, because it was never really that needed anywhere in the video. And the reason why I suggest Rhino is that you can pick up the blueprints for Rhino fairly early in the game. All you have to go do is unlock Venus, go to, I think, Fossa is the last mission, and you kill Jackal multiple times and you'll get the blueprints. The other thing is that Rhino is an extremely tanky character, and I did a lot of my farming for a lot of these Warframes solo just because I had problems with connecting with other people, and their connection might be slow. They would slow me down, or sometimes I would have AFK, team members on my squad, and they'll just stand in the beginning zone and never move, and then next thing you know, you're kind of like stuck in between, trying to get to the boss and trying to get that mission started. And so I did a lot of those farming by myself, and I picked up Rhino fairly quickly. Now I'll warn you that the farming for Rhino is a pain. It takes forever, and the reason for that is it's one of the best Warframes in the game, and it's because of his second ability that's called Iron Skin. Iron Skin basically makes you impervious to damage for a limited amount of time. Couple that with one of your artifacts like Energy Siphon, and you basically will have energy, enough energy almost every minute to sort of like, pump that ability out. And if you're very careful, you can almost kill any boss in the game by yourself. You don't even need help most of the time. And that's why I stuck with Rhino throughout the duration of my farming throughout a lot of missions. Now the other thing to keep in mind is once you get Rhino, you have to be, I think, level 2 to sort of like use him or craft him. It's XP locked, so you have to be level 2. Your character, your profile has to be level 2, and there you can do fairly quickly in the game. And so make sure that you're level 2 before you go start farming for Rhino, because I don't want you to actually go there, kill a boss and not be able to actually use the Warframe. The other thing that you want to keep in mind is, like, right off the bat, I would scrap every weapon that you had, minus the sidearm. I think the sidearms are not that bad, and you can keep them throughout the game, and they will do fairly well. But the sword that you start off with and the gun that you start off with, the primary weapon, are extremely bad. Their best stats are garbage. Almost every other gun in the game has better stats than those two that you start off with. The melee weapon is okay, but once you go through Mercury, you'll beat the boss and you get the blueprint for Cronus. Cronus is a much better sword than the Skana which you start off with, and I suggest that you upgrade that rather than keeping the Skana. Of course, there's better melee weapons, but if you're really in the market, I would suggest picking up the Skindo. And the reason for that is that most of the time you'll actually take out your melee weapon is when you deal with somebody who's really up close and personal, and that's generally the infested, who like to bum rush you most of the time and get close to you and deal damage. and skin dose slashing damage does extra damage to infested, and so I would suggest that you use that weapon in particular to kind of like defeat, or use that weapon in particular because it will give you more advantages later on. The gun that I would suggest is the Heck, but you have to be level 4 to use that. Other than that, you can use the Gorgon as well. Gorgon's a really nice assault rifle as well. The Heck is the shotgun that I'm currently using in the video. As you can see, I can basically one-shot almost anybody I come across. It has a very narrow frontal spread, so you can even hit people in the distance sometimes, and surprisingly get one-shot kills. The sidearm, I would suggest either picking up the Lex or the Kraken. The advantage to getting the Lex is that it's sort of like a sniper rifle and a pistol, but its fire rate is incredibly slow. The other thing is that you don't have to buy a blueprint. You can basically just pick it up in the store for credits. Kraken, on the other hand, is a 2-shot burst pistol, and it's very good if you get really close to somebody who's in your face. But on the other hand, it's accurate enough at a distance where you will be able to hit them and kill them. So I basically used Loki, who was my primary Warframe when I started off this game. That was the Warframe I picked, and I used him quite extensively to farm for Rhino. And if you really want, I can make a video of my solo farming sessions for Rhino blueprints with just Loki. Though he is level 30, so it's not that difficult to get to that level. I would suggest whatever primary Warframe that you're using, that you actually drop an Orkin reactor in them, just because it makes them so much more better to use than without them. And if you're careful enough that you might have a blueprint lying around for like an Orkin reactor to use, and once you get some of your primary weapons, I highly recommend that you spend either real money or just watch out for those alert missions and get the Orkin catalyst in all of your primary weapons. Just because it makes the farming experience so much more easier. And plus, if you really love the game, spending like $10 is nothing to show some appreciation to the developers. Of course, this is a business, and they have to earn some kind of money if you really like the game. Dropping $20-30 on the game is not going to break your bank, or it will certainly help the developer further in developing this game even more. So after that, once you get all of this, go to Fossa, kill Jackal a number of times, and you'll eventually find all the blueprints that you can use to craft Rhino. And after you get Rhino, I suggest you start leveling him up, and drop a reactor in him. He's definitely worth it. Like, even if you come across level 50 missions late towards the game, you can basically do them by yourself. I still do a lot of really hard missions by myself, just because I don't want to join random parties in which people have no idea what they're doing. Sometimes everybody's separated doing their own thing, so it doesn't really feel like a coherent experience. I rather do it by myself. Sometimes connection's iffy, so all these other factors sort of like playing. So guys, if you really like this video, I would highly suggest to comment and like if you want. But anyways, if you have any suggestions for any other games or any other Warframe videos that you would like to see, I would most likely like to hear about them in the comment section below. Anyways, thanks for watching my video, and I hope to see you soon, and good luck and good hunting.